So however much you do not like polygamy, still black men still have an excuse to say, hey, it's the white people that brought it to us so we can still stay.
So should we wait for the white men or white women to come and give us a notice? Like, hey guys, I think it's enough for you to be polygamous. I think it's enough for you to study colonial education. I think it's enough for you to not be able to provide or do things that are great for your countries in Africa. It's time for you to stop and actually grow and develop your countries or yourselves as people. Is that what we're waiting for?
Then don't you think it's high time we stop still blaming white people for what's happening in our societies today?
Hi guys, welcome to Kenganda. My name is Janita Maya and this is the Repart podcast. Now I am joined by these two lovely ladies. You know, we had to bring them back. I'll let them introduce themselves and tell you who they are. Ndagire,
hey guys, my name is Ndagire and I'm a YouTuber, content creator. I'm also a fashion kid stylist in case you have kids. If you want to follow me, it's Ndagire YouTube, Ndagire TikTok, Ndagire Instagram. Guys, thank you so much for having me again on Kenganda.
Okay.
Very excited. Thank you
You're
so much.
welcome. Yeah. Esther, please.
Hello, Kenganda Nation. My name is Esther Natkunda, and I'm so excited to be back. Apparently, you guys wanted us back, so we are back with a bang. If you want to follow me, the links will be in the description box.
Okay.
O'Shea Duke Jackson, African-American, West Coast, Sacramento, California. Let's get into it.
Okay, perfect. O'Shea, I'll take this.
So podcasting is actually pretty interesting.
It is.
It's an interesting sport, if you will. And what happens is off camera, before you go into a topic, you'll start arguing about something completely different than what we're talking about because we're trying to get the topics together. And then we came on to this particular brother, Dr. Umar Johnson, who is well known in our community. And Dr. Umar Johnson is a brother who believes in being in polygamous situations. And so we were talking about that. Is that a solution from the black community in Ndagire? Did I say that right?
Yeah.
She is not a fan of polygamy. So I know that in the pro-black world, we got a lot of brothers who are Hebrew Israelites, some brothers in other sects. Not everybody is into polygamy, but we do have people in the Pan-African world who are polygamous. And it's not uncommon. We had a brother here about 2 years ago who has like 4 wives, brother Ghana Dan, right? Okay, so why are you so against the polygamy thing? Are you for it or?
No, I don't support it.
Why?
It's disrespectful.
To who?
To anyone who is doing it. Like if you are a man doing it to a woman, you're disrespectful.
To who?
To your partner.
How?
You know, like it is this culture that we have, let's say in Uganda, because when we were backstage right now before we started, a lot of the guys here backstage was so much.
Say their names.
Oh,
Chef Gilbert. Chef Gilbert.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there was so much into we are men, we are kings. It's always the kings without the castles that want to say
They broke?
let's say things the way they are. You know, it's also like Dr. Umar kind of says we are kings who don't mix with other, servants or in that sense, other races, let me say. But then if you are a king who still doesn't respect your woman, I don't appreciate that relationship. Like it's not okay to be polygamous. And why we are polygamous, let me say in my country, Uganda, is because that's how it is being programmed to make women feel like it's okay for a man to disrespect you, but you have to stay because you're African. And it's just not okay.
Okay.
If it makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But you talk about kings. You know, kings in the olden days had like 5 wives or something. Concubines.
They had a lot of money. They could actually, sometimes it was by force.
Yeah.
Because in Buganda kingdom, if you studied history, if the king admired your wife, he would just take that woman and you could not say anything about it. So that was entitlement because they were in leadership.
So basically women by that time, they were like what? Papers you just want and take.
Even today you are a paper if you're still allowing
I
your
heard
man.
even that's sorry to cut you off, but the martyrs, the whole thing, he started killing people because one of the ladies, he wanted one of them, and they said
sorry,
no.
could you
He
repeat
loved
that?
your woman.
But I heard like the Kabaka Mwanga, this guy, one of the servants converted to Christianity, and she refused him because she was a Christian. So he just started killing people. Is that true?
The thing is, what I remember in my history books, if the king loved your woman, you were not allowed to sleep on that woman again. If you did, you both be killed. That's entitlement. That's brutal management of people. It makes sense. Like the king loves your woman, and then he actually would kill that woman. So you could not be able to sleep on her again. Like, why would you share a woman with the king?
Oh, thank God we out
You
of
see,
those times.
so it's this culture that is making women be disrespected. And then it's this culture that is making women be disrespected, and you have to just put up with it because, I mean, I have to be respectful to the culture. I have to be respectful to the traditions of what we carry as Ugandans. And it's not something I subscribe to. I usually look up to the older generation of women. Like, they are my biggest examples of why it's not okay to be polygamous. Usually when men die, older men, or if your husband dies, you're going to see that there are kids that you never heard about come. They are being presented to you. This is the child that they had in Nansana. They had this in Machindi. They had this in Nabasuba. You know, and you're like, it's like you are still in grief for your husband,
But you're supposed
and
to
you're
take
still
them in.
supposed to be a mother to these kids that you never knew existed.
Okay.
And you say that that's respect and it should be okay. No, it doesn't make sense to me.
Sorry.
doesn't.
What if, you know how in Islam it's like if you have the money, then you can have as many wives as you want. What about that?
How many make it worth a while?
I
No,
think
the
it's
problem-
4, not as
Yeah.
many as you want.
Or-
The
or you
problem
can
I have
4.
is like these men can even barely have something. And then because in the name of the religion that they have, they still want to go ahead and do it.
And if I'm also to add, I'm sorry, but most rich men don't even do those kind of behaviors because they need to keep their money. They need to keep their money.
Yeah.
They have to be reservant for what they are doing. They have to care for their children. They have to be financially stable for them to even survive. It's mostly the broke men that have a lot of women. Come to Uganda and testify. You will see a lot of it.
The kings with
How
no
are you
castles.
normalizing that is okay? And you still want to say black people need to develop. We need to elevate ourselves. We need to grow economical wise. But how are you going to grow if you are still seeding seeds into women that you're not caring for and expect to have money and still seed in other people or other women
Yeah.
when you can't even afford to care for the first seed that you implanted? Like, does that make sense? How are we even going to grow?
Have you not seen like a rich Hajj with many wives? I'm sure you've seen a
You're
family.
saying
Yeah, we
rich.
have.
You're saying rich.
Okay, a rich
That's
Hajj.
a
But it still
difference.
doesn't make it okay.
Okay, but you're saying, okay, let's juxtapose that.
yeah.
Yeah.
What if the person is rich? Then you still are you have a problem with that still?
It's still
Yeah.
disrespectful.
It's still disrespectful.
But at least they have the money to sustain it.
Okay.
In some sense. I don't support it fully, okay? But if someone is rich, for example, I cannot change the world. We are here today, okay? If you're rich and you know you're able to provide the same things you have in the first family to the second family, I'm very okay with it. But if you buy me a car and you can't buy the second wife a car, you have a problem. That means you cannot sustain us.
You can never love
Because
them
it
the
has
same.
to be equal.
It's impossible
It's
though.
because religion in Islam, as you're making me the example, it says if you buy me a sari, you should buy second wife a sari. If you take my kid to a best school, the kids of the other woman have to go to the best school as well, so that we are all equal in that sense. It shows you caring and you're making things equal, meaning you love us equal. And in this world that I know of 2023, you can never love anybody in an equal way.
Never,
So it is
ever.
disrespectful, whether you're rich, whether you're poor. Let us grow as black people and start improving our ways. And we always talk about breaking curses, okay? And the one thing I would say about curses, I don't fully believe black people have curses if we've been the group of people that have been suffering for the longest time. You can't say like we Africans, our ancestors, let's say, went into slavery, colonization, we are still suffering, and then we still have curses. No, it's those colonial behaviors that were implanted in us that we are still perpetrating and putting on ourselves and still claiming them as ours when they are not, and they are breaking us.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you think polygamy is still a colonial thing that was brought to us?
I think, yeah.
But why do they stay monogamous?
Who?
I don't think
The
it was
whites.
brought to us. I
It's
think
not
they
brought to
found
us.
it here.
It's just black people doing black people things that they cannot even control themselves.
No, I don't think it was like that.
You think
before.
the white man introduced polygamy?
No.
Yeah, because like, come on.
Where?
Like, guys, let's go back and rewind a bit.
Please.
Okay. Before, like, the men would be like with their families together and respect their women. Okay. The only people that would most times have or be polygamous would be the kings, as someone gave an example. I don't remember who. Okay.
Kabaka
Because they could access those things. People didn't have a lot of money. Yes, they had land and all those things, but they stuck with their women, like in that sense.
Until the white people came?
Until like those moments came when you just had to, what is the right word? How can I phrase it?
To adjust to the new lifestyle?
Yes. Okay. Because if you are separated from your family through, let's say, slavery, you mean you're not going to have another family? You're going to stay single?
Then-
like, people were dispersed. Okay. And then you have to make, new families or whatever.
Then
Then it became like, oh, I can have this. Okay. And then women rights were taken away, that how can these women be organized like this with these men, or in this sense? No, it shouldn't be like that.
However,
Yeah.
if you still think that because this thing got implanted into the African community,
Yeah.
because of white people, if white people brought this thing and black people took it on, so however much you do not like polygamy, still black men still have an excuse to say, hey, it's the white people that brought it to us, so we can still stay, feeling sorry for ourselves that, oh, it's the white men that brought it to us. So however much you complain that polygamy, you don't want it, give them leverage that, hey, it's the white people that gave it to you, so probably you must stick with it.
So should we wait for the white men or white women to come and give us a notice? Like,
Then-
hey guys, I think it's enough for you to be polygamous. I think it's enough for you to study colonial education. I think it's enough for you to not be able to provide or do things that are great for your countries in Africa. It's time for you to stop and actually grow and develop your countries or yourselves as people. Is that what we're waiting for?
Then don't you think it's high time we stop still blaming white people for what's happening in our societies today?
No, they should be blamed, but it should also come to us as black people to stop with that. It's the white people. Yes, it will always be there. It's never going to stop. No white person is going to come and give you, you see, now there's the Palestine and Israel war right now. I don't think white people are also going to just get away from power from the black countries or African countries and be like, okay, bye-bye. No, we still need to struggle and we need to fight the way Palestinian people are dying and fighting right now. So we cannot just come and complain white people. When is it going to stop? Are they going to die and be away from the world?
Let me kind of get back to the whole polygamy thing.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here, I'm listening. I'm trying to make a lot of sense of what you're saying, which is you personally have a problem with polygamy.
I have
Very
a problem
much.
with it too.
Just like I personally would have an issue with interracial relationships.
Yeah.
But I think that because I think that it might be disrespectful to the community, it doesn't mean that they find it to be disrespectful. So I think that's a difference between how we feel about something versus consenting adults, how they feel about it. Now, I think in the terminology of Kabwaka Mwanga or people like that who have forced polygamy, and if I want your wife, she's mine, or if I'm 14 or 15, a woman's 14, she's sold into that. Okay, that's different.
Yeah.
But you have women who have their own reasons for wanting to be into polygamous relationships. I can tell you one I saw on YouTube.
Yeah.
There was a woman who was saying, I want to be a second wife to a man.
Yeah.
You see, it's not uncommon.
You know why she says that?
She's broke.
Because the first woman has to take all the blows. She just has to receive.
She broke. She's looking for someone
But
to take care of her.
for whatever reason that it is, we can speculate as to why you feel that's the case.
It is.
But it doesn't mean that that's the case for her because we don't know her. This is what she said. I want to have some career aspirations for myself, but I want to be tied to somebody's family. So I would rather be the second wife. I don't really want children for myself, but I do want a man. I want to be a part of somebody's family. But here's the other reasons that she's talking about, X, Y, and Z. Another lady said she's the main woman. She wants a lady to come in and be a second wife because she doesn't want her husband has a high sex drive and she's busy. She doesn't want to have sex every night. So she would like if somebody else could relieve, you know, because I guess the husband is long and strong or something like that. You know what I mean? So she wants, you know, somebody to help. And at least she says she knows who it is for whatever reasons. The thing about it is we may find something disrespectful because that's our cup of tea.
Yeah.
But the world is very different and people are different. So because you find it disrespectful, it don't mean that they do. What we can say is you wouldn't do it.
I would like to respond, guys. The examples you give those kinds of women, one just doesn't want to have sex with his man. I don't know why she's married in the first place.
What do you
second-
mean you don't know why she's married? So she must give it up every night.
Why are you married if you're not willing to have a relationship as a relationship with this partner?
Her issue is having daily sex.
Well,
Okay.
that was just one of the reasons that she stated in the video.
The second one, it clearly shows she's there for the financial support because you want to be a career person. You don't want to have kids. You just want to be in someone's relationship and ruin it. So you don't want to just be bothered.
But how do you
don't want to be
how
bothered.
do you make
Like,
light?
why are you even in that relationship? And that is an exception. Majority of women, like 100%, like I tell you, no woman wants to share her man with any other woman. That's why you see a lot of them mistreating the stepchildren.
The housemaids.
That's why you see a lot of them doing evil.
Witchcraft.
No, don't say witchcraft. A lot of evil to the men or the children or the family people. Like everyone is pulling. You come to me, you go to Joanita, you go to Esther. We are all pulling you as the man, okay? There's no way you're going to develop, actually.
Yeah.
You're not going to develop.
Okay, let me respond to this.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you believe that who's your favorite celebrity?
Where? Here or
Anywhere.
man or woman?
Man.
Man.
You think that's very attractive?
I don't know.
Would you
Like, I
say
can't
that
even think
let
of
me say,
anyone.
do you like Chris Brown?
Yeah.
No.
You don't.
I do.
Okay, you like Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Who do you like?
Elba.
Honestly, I don't know.
Okay.
Idris
just
Elba?
You don't like anybody, we know that. But
No,
it's
I
okay.
like Zendaya. She's beautiful.
No, Mel.
Male.
Male.
Male?
Idris Elba,
Okay,
girl.
just say Idris.
Okay.
Oh. What
Okay.
can I-
Would
Maybe
you- Let me just say this. Could you
can't even think of
find it
anyone.
that a woman
Yeah.
who's in a relationship,
Yeah.
but she had a chance to sleep with Chris Brown for a night, she could do it?
She's cheap.
No, I'm just saying, but could
Sorry,
you
you asked how?
No. I'm just saying, like, do you feel like, okay,
Yeah.
Chris Brown,
Yeah.
a woman has the opportunity to be with Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that she would have the same level of accountability for Chris Brown that she would have for a normal guy?
In which
No.
terms?
Okay. Meaning that if she has time to spend Chris Brown for a night, you think she'll have sex with him? Most women?
Yeah, she will.
What are the terms and conditions?
She
Okay.
will.
So what I'm saying is this. Chris Brown's a superstar.
yeah.
Most guys understand that if their wife come across Chris Brown, they
Yes.
might be in trouble. Most guys would understand that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. There's a guy by the name of Dwight Howard. I don't know if you guys ever heard of him.
Yeah.
Basketball player.
Yeah.
I had a girlfriend, she used to always tell me, if I ever see Dwight Howard, I'm gonna fuck him. He ended up being gay.
Yeah.
But
He
anyways,
had a threesome.
but it got bisexual. But what I'm saying is this. There are certain men, not all men are created equal. Okay? Some men are going to be able to get away with things
Yeah.
that a normal guy can't get away with. So we got to understand that not all guys are equal, just like not all women are equal.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I'm trying to build this thing up here. A guy like Chris Brown, a woman may never be in a polygamous relationship with a guy like me. But a guy like Chris Brown, absolutely.
She doesn't have standards.
We've normalized
Whoa.
it.
Hold on. What I'm saying is, it's not that she doesn't have standards. It's just that that's an exception to the rule. So what I'm trying to say is there are some men out there, just like there's some women out there, who can do things that are against the norm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that they're disrespectful because if Chris Brown comes to town,
Can I
Yeah.
ask a question?
yes,
You are so much on defend of no interracial relationships.
Yeah.
If someone does it in the way you're saying, they do it, but they are not being disrespectful. Are they also valid in this conversation?
let me just say this. What I find to be disrespectful to the community,
Yeah.
that's not for them. So what my opinion of them makes no merit to them because they're interracial relationships that have been very successful for 40 years and they feel like love is there.
Yeah.
And there are women in polygamous relationships who can say the same thing.
Yeah.
So my opinion about that doesn't mean anything to them because there's evidence that it works.
Yeah.
So even though I'm against it, we are against things that people have successes with every day.
Yeah.
Polygamy, interracial relationships, hate to say this, gay relationships, can you be proven with that? Bisexual, trisexual, try anything sexual.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just because we don't like that, that don't mean that it doesn't work for somebody else.
Okay, for the vast majority of African ladies, let's say. Because I think we're having this conversation because men are using polygamy as an excuse to go and cheat.
Very much.
Well, it's not, if it's polygamy, then that means they know about each other. So it's not cheating.
If it's polygamy, then it's like
They know.
that's a legit
Who
second
knows?
wife.
Like, who knows? The wives know each other.
Yes.
Yeah, if
Okay,
that's what
let me
polygamy
give an
is.
example.
Yeah.
A lot of the times, okay, these men, I don't want to, okay, let me not generalize. A few of those that I've come across to that I've seen, not that I've dated, or maybe one of some of my friends, men, okay, they, like, there is an example of one that actually had a child outside.
Yes.
They didn't tell my friend they had a child outside or even had a person outside. And this person of mine, a friend of mine, they were together and I thought they were together. She got pregnant. This man told her to take it out because he's not ready to be a father. Okay? And she did it. All right? And then 4, 5 months, 6 months later, then he comes to her and wants her to have a child. And then also tells her they have a child outside, the first child, before she terminated her child. Okay? That is also being polygamous in disguise. And they find it like, it's okay. Okay?
Okay, well, hold on.
So it's not always informed that if you are in a polygamous relationship, that this person or these ladies know themselves. It's not in that sense. These men hide.
Okay, wait a minute.
They hide
So in this relationship you talking about, did he know that did she know that he had other women?
No.
Okay, I'm not talking about that then. Then that's
But it's
just
still
lying.
polygamous.
No, it's polygamy or polyandry or whatever you want to call it. It's when it's an agreed,
Consented.
like, I got all of y'all. I mean, no, don't cancel me. But it is,
Yeah, it's like that you
yeah, and you all know.
We all agree.
That's the polygamy that I'm referring to. I'm not talking about a dude that's just got,
Yeah.
But it goes on,
Nansana,
it's the
Chabuli.
same thing that we are normalizing. You're saying it's happening, not in a consented, let's say term. Okay. But if you're allowing it in that situation, it's going to also perpetrate and come into the situation of it is supposed to come into play because we are agreeing to it. Okay. But the thing is it helping the Black community grow, or it's breaking us, especially the women that are involved, that are made single mothers, especially because that's when it also comes in. Okay. Majority of the times when these men maybe have an argument, because arguments happen in relationships, this man is going to stop the caring for you and your children.
Yeah.
And go to these other 3 women. Okay. That is something that I do not subscribe to. If this person is with you, let's say you are together, 2 people. If you have a disagreement and you're like, okay, we can't, move on together, you can separate. I accept that. You can't stay with a toxic person. Okay, live separate. Be able to provide for your children so that you can teach this child that it's okay that we broke up, but we can still grow and be better and still provide for you. This child is going to grow up with the mentality that, okay, maybe my parents didn't make it work, but I can make it work with my wife, if it makes sense. So the more we normalize it that, okay, I have money, he has money, he can care for the wife and all these things. How many people are consenting to it? And if it is that okay, why is it that so many women are coming on the internet most of the times complaining that men cannot sit their pants in one skirt?
I think it starts as cheating. I don't think any woman in her right mind, a woman like me in her right mind, can wake up and O'Shea comes to me, let's say, just using you as an example. And you're like, hey, baby, I saw some nice, cute girl. She's called Juanita Maya.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I want her to.
don't hate.
Tears. Go ahead.
So if we are saying consented polygamy, that is how it's supposed to be done.
Just-
Because I was
let me-
thinking
can I-
that happens.
Go- Let me just say this real quick, okay?
Yeah.
All right. What I'm saying is, okay, of course, let's say if I want to ruin my life and marry Jonita, right? Yeah, how you start, like, okay, if I'm in a relationship, let's say with Jonita. Now, I'm with her. How she found me was she thought I was just dating her.
Yeah.
So if I try to change that, how you start is how you finish.
Mm-hmm.
That's wrong for me to go and say, you know what? I want to go date Esther.
Yeah.
Or, something like that. Now I'm not doing the same things I did when I met her. But if I met her and I told her from the jump,
Yeah.
I'm in Santa, I'm in Chabuli, I got something in Bunga. And if she's stupid enough to agree to that, which you would be surprised.
That's her fault.
Yeah.
That's her fault.
So that's consent. That's what I'm talking about. Now, if I get with her and she don't know, then she just didn't know. And then I'm a person that's a loser. But in the terms of polygamy that I'm talking about, it's a lot of men that just can come straight with it and say, hey, I got this situation I got going on. What you want to do? And you'd be surprised at how many ladies say,
Are you supporting
Yes.
the situation?
I'm supporting whatever people do because it ain't my business.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This is a false narrative for all of you in the comment section. I know how you like to tussle.
Yeah.
I have no issue with polygamy. I don't know. I guess I've changed my stance on that because I've seen so many successful polygamous relationships.
Yeah.
Like my neighbors at home back in the village, there's a guy who's a rich guy and he has like 5 women in each district or something like that. He has 3 in the district. Yeah. And then
Are they thick?
they're lovely women with the kids have grown up and he builds for them houses. The houses look the same. That's how you know that's one of his wives because it's the same structure.
How old is that guy?
The same
my
paint.
God.
He's quite old.
So if he's old, is the old generation.
Yeah, but I've seen it successful. And then also my uncle.
Do you have
no
an
offense.
example? See? Do you have an example
Someone-
in the
Shady
new
uncle.
generation that
Someone.
yeah.
Yeah, he introduced the second wife. The first wife welcomed her. There were hugs. We ate. We celebrated. She was beautiful. I don't know what else to say. They like themselves. I also know another one where it's like they're sisters and they married the same man. It's just yeah.
Really?
Yeah, the
How
other
can I be that lucky?
The younger sister had come over for like Essex vacation and then the husband. It's a messed up story. But the kids love themselves. What I'm trying to say is
Okay, it's okay. In the black community.
melanin. It's like, what are you going to do?
Why you mean men?
I've given them.
No. If this platform is about, changing our mindset, right? It's about growing as people. One thing is polygamy. Let's say, okay, I can give an example. Maybe long time ago, it was okay because our parents had land, even if they had these women that they were mistreating and not, respecting, they had land. When they died and maybe they brought like 5, 6, 7 kids from the outside, women, they would still have assets to remain with. We are talking about 2023. Okay. We
yeah.
are talking about the situation right now where even if you have a child, you have money, a woman and a man in this economy of today, it is even hard to take care of your one child and be able to take care of yourself. So if we are a community of black people and we are like, we need to change these generational curses, we need to change from these things that are dividing us. Because if you are a man that wants a community to grow, especially a black man, and you see and you hear women complain about how men are cheating, men are disrespectful, men are all this, it also goes to the women as well, not just men, okay? We need to take a step back and see that we are all broken in some sense. Men and women, we are all broken. Black people, all of us. It doesn't matter where you are. We are broken. We have different continents we come from. We share the same blood. We share the same problems. We share the same curses if you even have them. I don't know if I have them actually. I think it's the decisions that we do that are putting us in this situation. So polygamy for me is a situation now that is making us broke and is something that we are actually kind of being proud of and is not okay. How many men today are able to have one woman, 2 women, 3, let's say for example, and are able to provide the same things the number 1 and 2 have to the 3rd woman?
Can I just say this? I think I don't know if you have a lot of proof to back up what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because most guys in Uganda have a problem just getting one date. Like, do you know how many guys in Uganda just can't get a date or in the States
broke.
How are
can't
they
get
getting women pregnant if they can't even have a date?
What I'm telling you is there are a lot of guys in Uganda that just can't get a date. Like, just go look at some of the forums or whatever. In the United States, which is one of the richest countries in the world,
Yeah.
men are depressed, men are lonely.
Yeah.
They can't, like, even you go on Tinder,
Yeah.
most girls look at your picture, they look at what you look like. Most girls are like, he looks broke. That's not my type. I don't want to match with that person.
Mm-hmm.
So women are more selective these days. Like,
Is that a problem that we are
no.
selective?
What I'm saying is, if you're more selective, that means that the average guy isn't having sex. The average guy can't get 3 women in Uganda.
Which is good. They should stay with one.
So what I'm saying is they can't even get, the problem is a lot of guys can't even get one. So you got to understand that most women are trying to probably going after a guy that has the top 10 to 15% type of guy.
I do think every guy
so
who is
women
broke
are
should
now
stay
contributing
single.
to the polygamy because they are going for one guy that has money. Is that what you're
No.
saying?
What I'm saying is that you're trying to say polygamy is a problem where most guys can't even get a girlfriend. Most men will be happy with one girlfriend. Do you know what the average guy in America says he has an average of in his lifetime 6 to 7 sexual partners in his life. So most average guys don't even get to have a lot of sex in their lifetime. But do you know how hard it is for like the average guy in Uganda that's making like 400,000, 500,000 shillings a month for a woman to really take you seriously? You're probably not going to even get a chance. So I don't think it's the polygamy thing that's the issue. The issue, because polygamy, yes, it can put women in a bad situation. I do understand that.
Yeah.
But the issue is the things that happen in any kind of different economy.
Yeah.
Corruption, not reinvesting into infrastructure, private sector not developing, foreign direct investment. Those are the things that are bringing.
But whose problem is that?
Well, that's the thing that breaks down almost any country. I can tell you, I've been here in the private sector in Uganda for 6 years. Have done very well. Yeah. I can tell you the one thing I never complain about: polygamy. That's not what the problem is here. The problem is everything else.
Yeah.
So if you have resources for communities and community building, that's what the issue tends to be. Yeah, obviously you have people having sex and having some kids here and there in the village, stuff like that. But the polygamy thing is not the biggest issue. And most ladies are not even really down for polygamy anyway. Most ladies will say no. Most women don't want to do that. And guys understand that.
But it still happens a lot.
It happens a lot, but it doesn't happen as more as ladies saying no. A lot means this. Okay, I shoot a ball 30,000 times. I make it 4,000 times. That's a lot. I miss a hell of a lot more than I'm making though. Most guys know that most women are not okay with being with 3 or 4 different chicks. That's why guys lie. Most men know that. Oh, I only love you. Only want to be with you. Why? If they knew that most women were okay with it, they could just be out front and tell you, look, I'm fucking her down the street, her down the street, her down the street. No guy in Uganda will say that in Kampala. He knows that women won't go for it.
Okay.
Women are not going for that shit. Unless you're a very special type of guy and you better be exceptional, either very exceptional looking and exceptional earning or both, which that wipes out almost 99% of men on planet Earth.
Okay.
So it happens here and there, but I don't think it's a problem that you're making it out to be. That's
It's
not
a
the issue.
problem because we are now, you are trying to make it seem like, okay, these men don't even have sex because it's hard for them to have sex.
It is.
Which is hard for me to understand
But
and
because-
believe in Uganda. It like they do have the sex. That's why most broke ones are the ones that have a lot of kids and they disappear. So they do have sex, they just don't want to care for the responsibilities of their sex. And then you're making it seem like, okay, so women are running to these men that have money. Okay, let's say there are those that have money. But why are we normalizing the fact that a man can just come out and be like, I am okay to be a polygamous man and it should be allowed in the black community. But as well, you're hearing women say, we don't like it. The problem is not about being polygamous as a man. There are those that you're saying that can care or cater for their women. I do understand that. But if the majority of the women in the community, I'm talking
saying
about
no.
community, not just Uganda. I'm saying majority of women, black African women, do not want to be cheated on or be polygamous. It's they want to be with their man. That is. Do you want to be with your man sharing him with another
No,
person?
just because I said I don't mind polygamy doesn't mean I want to be a second wife.
See, she knows it's there and people have been engaging in it, but it's not something that we as a whole do appreciate, especially on the ends of women.
Of course. I
Yes.
can understand that.
So that's why I say it's a problem now that we have young generation of boys that are coming out. And the more they see that men are bragging about, oh, it's okay to be polygamous. It's just okay. I'm a man. I can do whatever I want. You know, I'm a man. I cannot even control myself. Those are the things that I see. Like those are the things that I see when people are supporting being polygamous. Because you are a man, you're supposed to do this. And they make it seem like it's just a natural thing. And
For
black
men
people
to
should
do.
black men in particular should just do it because why aren't we should do it. Like we should do it.
I think the problem now.
It is for us.
And let me just say this. I grew up in so it's every guy's fantasy at some point in his life to have a lot of women.
I think we also admire to have a lot of men.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
We do.
Nothing wrong with that.
No,
Oh,
but
but
society
black
doesn't
men will
let
go
us even
wild.
express
But
that.
what I'm saying is like
if we do, we are called bitches and sluts. Like,
Yeah.
you see, the way I'm speaking right now, I know most of you are going to be like, why I'm being Americanized. That is the excuse that they always say when you try to speak up as a woman. You don't know the minds of women. I can admire O'Shea or him or you know him, but because I'm a woman, I can't even come to express that to him. Okay, because it's just like you are a woman. Like how dare you? Okay,
Yeah.
that is a problem. So you make it seem like you men are so in a manly world that you can just say it bluntly, like, oh, I'm a man, I can do that, and I can care for the 4 women if I can. What makes you think me and my thoughts, I don't think the same way as
well,
you do?
you probably do, but we're not. That's not on trial today. What's not on trial is women having 4 guys. You're talking about men having 4 women.
Yeah.
So that would be a whole different episode if we're talking about that, which we're not
It
talking
goes
about.
both ways.
But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is that's not the argument that you're talking about today. That's
Yeah.
another argument.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that does exist.
Yeah.
So let's concede that could be the case, but we're not dealing with that.
Yeah.
What we're dealing with is the men doing it because obviously you feel like that's a problem.
They need to stop.
Okay, so if they need to stop, here's what I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
The reality is, as long as they're men and they're women that will agree to what a man is going to ask them to do,
Yeah.
it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, it is.
So
Yeah.
in actual sense,
Look at Nick Cannon.
Oh, yeah.
Nick Cannon is in the most feminist, most strong, and look at those ladies, what they're allowing him to do.
He has money.
Has money.
Yeah.
okay,
But
so it's the
look
women
at-
that are the problem.
They're pimps.
So it's the women that are
No. It's not that the women are the problem. It's just like for a man that is living that lifestyle, there's guys who are pimps who have.
So they're there for the money.
So it's the women that are the problem.
It could be they're there for the money. It could be they're just there because they want to be there.
They want to be there for the money.
Oh, so I found a
They
solution.
do genuinely love him.
But they are there for
I
the
do
money.
follow one of them.
Some women would
Do
rather
you
be.
think if they get a child out of the situation, they'll be like, no, I just loved him. I can care for this child.
Oh,
No, they'll
some
come
women
out
can
for the
go.
That's
child
true. But what I'm
support.
saying is,
because it's money at the
there's
end
some
of
women
the day.
who'd rather be attached to a valuable man
yeah.
and have only a fourth of his time.
If the
than be a-
moment you become a celebrity, women most times, yes, they can come when they love you, but they mostly come for the money. Let's say it as it is. Let's say a spade
Yeah.
as it is.
But we
if
want
you
to-
are a celebrity,
yeah.
women, whether you're a soccer player, you're a movie star, you're an anchor on TV, you are O'Shea podcast, content
Ooh, a
creator.
YouTuber.
Women,
I'm a celebrity.
Oh,
women will come to you most of the times because they know you can provide for
Planet
them. They
FShay at
see what
gmail.com.
you're
wait. I
doing.
have a question for you.
Yeah.
Yes, baby.
So like you haven't gotten like a girls throwing themselves at you because like
No,
you
I'm a
think
I'm a Christian.
Guys, we want to hear from people in the comment section because we'll go on and on. But
today it
yeah,
has been the Girendo Shay.
yeah,
Yeah.
No, it's not.
No, it's okay.
Guys, let me just.
Uh-huh.
Are we closing?
Yeah, these are your
Okay,
closing
closing.
remarks, please.
Okay, we are closing. I am all for black people to break curses. Okay, polygamy is one of them. Emotions is one of them. Understanding is one of them, and therapy is the most on top of it. Okay, the way we speak right now, I know that some people might find it like, oh, she's being too much, she's being Americanized, she's being all these feminist things or whatever that you might say. I'm okay to take that in, okay? But we are all broken. I'll stick to that. Black women and men are broken. We need to start getting therapy and we need to start understanding and listening to both of us as gender. Whatever thing you identify with, official, whatever, you need to know that the community needs to start by breaking some things that are breaking us, and those things in relationship wise are the starting points, because you get together to grow families and so the community to grow. Okay, so if we are still in a community where you feel you're entitled to be polygamous because you can afford a certain group of people, it doesn't help us grow when that group of people in majority doesn't support that idea. If it makes sense, if you resonate with that, we are together. If you don't, it's okay. But at the end of the day, I cannot force anybody to love who you can love. You can go in your relationships and do whatever you want. I just don't support polygamy and I will not be in one. That's just it.
Thank you so much. That was very powerful. Esther, closing remarks.
Okay, my closing remarks. Ladies, I have a notion that I always argue with Ndegre about. There is no man who can be a dog by himself. So even if, yes, I am against polygamy, I just want to say there is no man who can be polygamous by himself. So it starts with us, the women. If you don't like it, don't be into it. If the women say no, ain't no man is going to be polygamous. So it starts with us.
It goes both ways.
Us.
O'Shea, closing remarks.
You know, I'm 42 and I've seen a lot of stuff. And I've seen a lot of women who will do things for other dudes they won't do for normal dudes, including myself, but I'm saved now. So I'm just, the game, like Mag Drake said, the game is thick. So again, women will be, make one guy be faithful and we'll go to another guy and we'll gladly accept being number 2 or 3 and we'll be okay with being number 2 or 3 for a high level guy she's really attracted to instead of being faithful to a guy as a normal guy. So, hey, it works out in different ways. Life is very tricky. And dating is like boxing and marriages. You can't get in the ring and not get hit.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Ladies, where can they find you?
Well, guys, you can find me on YouTube. The links will be in the bio. Ndagire, TikTok, Instagram. Thank you for watching. And hopefully I'll be back
Can
again.
you be a third wife?
Okay.
No?
Oh, no.
No, don't be a fourth wife.
Number 1.
Not third.
I just want to be by myself.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
This is why I always
don't worry.
stress that I'm still going to be single.
You're definitely doing a good job of that. Well,
Esther, so the point they can find you.
Oh,
Esther, but Esther is single. Esther is single.
I've been single for 5 years now officially, and I am not ready to be in a relationship.
What do you mean? What
Because when I see whatever is happening with people's relationships and this generation, I just feel like it's a lot of headache, and I'm a very jealous girl. Like this entire
but
cheating.
why must you let the world dictate what could happen for you?
Okay, let's say I have a chicken heart. I am scared because I know I don't want to be. I become a fool for a man when I'm in love, so I do not want to be a pick misha anymore. I don't want to be a fool anymore. I don't want nobody to step on me anymore. So I'm just reserving. Yes, I'm a coward. So I'm good of single. I must just as well end up being a eunuch for the kingdom of God.
Where can the men find you to slide in your DM?
Okay, if you want to slide in the DMs, Essie Natskunda. TikTok, Essie Natskunda. You guys are going to put my everything in the...
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you so much. Don't message O'Shea, but you can send us an email at teamkenganda@gmail.com and follow us on all our social media pages at Kenganda Nation. Tell us what you think in the comment section. We may be back for part 2. See you guys next time.